might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service, interests, and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben in Germany. Looking forward to bringing you all the action here tonight. Like I said, it is round number 11, GT3s around the famous German track. It's me, Aidan Schultz, in the broadcast booth tonight. 3.5 minutes left in the qualifying session at the moment. The 979 on board with you there as we do get into the back end of the qualifying session. Only 3.5 minutes to go. Kobe in behind the broadcast booth, or in behind the cameras tonight rather, if I make it a little bit more on point, and you can see there the leaderboard down the left hand side of your screen. Christopher Island in the Pro taking the pole at the moment. Still 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes to go before we decide who's going to take first position and pole position here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series. Here brought to you by Performance E Streaming. If you're tuning in here or across Australia, across around the world, wherever you're tuning into, I hope you're ready for a big night of action. But at the moment, Christopher Island is at the top with a 1:23.481. Not to be outdone by, though, Kobe, you're in the background, you're listening to me. I will talk to you through the broadcast. You don't need to say anything. But fit there in second place with a 1:23.557. So just 7/10 of a second between first and second place. Andrew Dyson up in third place as well. He's always there or thereabouts. He's a great driver here on the sim. Up in third. James Glasspool up into fourth position, 123.663. And he just gets outdone by Wilkes there. And that's Ben Wilkes in the Pro with a 123.662. But only 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in qualifying for round number 11. We'll go through your championship standings. Well, we do have a chance to do that. And we'll go through your Pro split first. So Stephen Banks leading the way at the top here before we go racing for our number 11. 780 points, not to be outdone by Brad Fenley, 719. So it's a championship to be lost at the moment by Stephen Banks at the front, with Brad Fenley in second. Andrew Dyson, who I just mentioned and on screen at the moment, in third place with 684 points. Robbie Bradbury up there with 635. Ryan Jones rounding out your top 5 with 628. Big gap down to the 22 of Tom Williams in 536, and it's Island, Foster and Barton there rounding out your 10. We'll go through your AM split, and it is Jason Martin. Jason Martin coming off back-to-back 24-hour wins from Mitch Motorsports, being up the front there in the AM series with 798 points. Peter Pavlovich, if I put my teeth in, 778 points. James Lawrence there in third, and Josh Micklemore from Mitch Motorsports, who has gone back-to-back in those 24-hour wins with his teammate Jason Martin, who's currently leading the championship, sitting there in fourth place on 751. Brad Cooper in fifth place on 730, and Phil Bissett on 662. Then we go to the best of the rest, and that's Carl Withy, Dave Douglas, Mark Smith and Scott Lieber there, rounding out your top 10. But looking forward to tonight, we've only got 28 seconds to go here in qualifying for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. We'll go through a little bit of the track details tonight. So we are at Oschersleben. Race length, we've got 2 races tonight, one 20-minute race, one 30-minute race. Track length is 3.69 kilometres in length. Full fuel capacity for the drivers tonight, so there's not going to be an issue with the fuel drop, and tyres unlimited. So it's going to be racing to the end, but that's going to set your grid here. And we're about to go to an ad. We'll go to an ad really, really quickly before we give you the grid, and we send you the grid here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks to the sentiments to all the sponsors here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. I get a little bit excited a little bit early, so please forgive me, but we'll go through your grid before we come to race number 1. It will be Christopher Island coming off the pole here in the Pro split in the 23. Joshua Fitt out of 50 in the car number 50 out of P number 2. Andrew Dyson, you'll be there or thereabouts in the simrigs.com out of P number 3 in the 41. Ben Wilkes will start out of P number 4 in the 104. Out of P5 tonight will be James Glasspool and Dwayna Burns. I'm not sure if I pronounced that, Dwayna, correctly. I do apologise, in P number 6. Ryan Jones in 7 and Robbie Bradbury out of P number 8. P number 9 tonight will be James Foster. He'll be there or thereabouts. Edward Foster is usually in here as well. That's his brother, I believe, in the 114. And Stephen Banks, right up there in the championship, in there as well. James Lawrence in the P12 tonight, an AM driver. And Jason Martin, the leader of the AM series at the moment, starting in the next position in the 21 out of Mitch Motorsports. Aaron Schotter in the Pro, so expect Aaron to make his way forward in the 88 and Dave Douglas in the AM in the 10. Brad J. Cooper in the 093 and Josh Micklemore from Mitch Motorsports in the 31 will take out the 16th starting position. 17th tonight will be Doddsy, Harry Dodds out of Melbourne. He will be making his way forward, no doubt, in the 981, and Mark Smith in the 07 out of the 18th position. 19th position, Peter Pavlovich and Paul Drady in the 29, starting out of your 20th position tonight. Brad Fenley in the 59th. Brad Fenley in 3rd position in the pro class at the moment, so he's not going to be happy with that qualifying position. He's got a lot of work to do through these 2 races, and Carl Withy likewise in the AM, starting out of 22nd tonight. Noddy Tompkins in the 23rd position, and Mark Johansson in the 14, starting out of 24th. So that's your 24 starters tonight here, ladies and gentlemen. It is 2 races, and there is a long way to go. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of carnage here. I wish I had someone to bounce off. I'm not usually used to not having a commentator to bounce off, but it is Christopher Ireland in the simrigs.com. It is a simrigs.com front row at the moment in those Porsches, with Christopher Ireland and Joshua Fitt there in 1 and 2. Don't write off Dyson. It is a rolling start here. So anyone tuning in here on the platforms of Performance e-streaming, it is a rolling start. Wherever you're tuning in from Australia, around the world, wherever you are on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching on the best platform of virtual sim racing, wherever you're tuning in, it is a rolling start, and it will be Christopher Ireland taking us to the green this time. You can see that beautiful Porsche safety car in front of you just rolling around through that change of direction. They're going to come down the back straight now. Still a little while before we go green here for race number 1. We'll just recap and let you know the grid. You can see it down the left-hand side of your screen on the tower. Christopher Ireland from, if you see Pro or the P down the side, they're Pro. If you don't see a P, they're Pro-Am. So different skill levels, different things with drivers around. But at the moment, all the pros at the top. Ireland, Fitt, Dyson, Wilkes, Glaspool, Burns, Jones, Bradbury, Fosker, Banks, your top 10. But it is Simrigs 1 and 2 at the front, and how beautiful do those Porsches look as they now make their way down into the back straight. We're about to go racing here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. I'm looking forward to this one. We've got 2 races. I have a feeling this is the precursor to the main, but they are getting ready. They're getting ready to go. Ireland and Fitt will bring us to the green. They're on to the main straight at the moment. It's all in the hands of Ireland, and we're green flag racing here for round number 11 as we go into turn number 1. We'll just be quiet for a couple of corners, and we'll watch all the action as they go down in turn number 1 as Ireland gets the spot over Fitt, Dyson, Glaspool, Jones and Wilkes through the change of direction here. And they make their way out, and it is Ireland doing a great job, and it is simrigs.com 1 and 2 through turn number 4. That change of direction is very, very tricky here at Oschersleben, but now they get into the nice and free-flowing section of the track. Ireland leading the way over Fitt, Dyson, Glaspool and Jones as we're a couple of corners into this one. No incidents so far, and we've got 19 minutes to go, as you see here up the top in the timing, but it is on timing, isn't it, Kobe? So 19 minutes to go, and it is simrigs.com 1-2, Ireland and Fitt over Dyson. Well, that's actually 1-2-3, Ireland, Fitt and Dyson 1-2-3 as they make their way down into the change of direction. And you will see, if you are tuning in here on the streams of Performance e-streaming, a lot of different cars. So it is at the moment Porsche 1 and 2. You can see there, Dyson running a different car tonight too, Kobe. I know you can hear me in the background and you're not going to commentate. So he's always been in the McLaren. So Dyson in the McLaren, which is really different. So Andrew Dyson, one of the stalwarts of sim racing, in 3rd position at the moment. You can see his teammates really making hay at the front. Well, it shines. That's a really tricky section of the race course, as you can see, where they make their way through there. That's 1 and 2, change of direction, and then they'll go through the left-hander here. And it looks like everyone is really, really pedestrian. They're just trying to settle in at the moment. No big movers, a couple of people in pit lane, as you can see there. So we might go back and have a look and see if we can get a replay to see what happened. There's no replay at the moment, but a couple of drivers through pit lane. We'll go back and have a look. A couple of drivers through pit lane. into turn number 1 and 2. So a bit of contact there into 1. You can see Jason Martin there, your championship leader in Pro-Am, getting caught up there in turn number 1. So that's detrimental for Jason Martin here in race number 1, facing the wrong direction. So only a minute and a half in, not even that, into turn number 1. Nowhere to go for the 21 Mitch Motorsports. You can see that there, and a couple of drivers getting caught up on the outside as well. So that's not going to be good for them as they go on into the race. But we go back to the front of this motor race. Christopher Island and Joshua Fitt, they are doing a great job in those Porsches, just extending their legs at the front. Andrew Dyson in the McLaren, still holding off James Glasspool in 4th over Jonesy. Ryan Jones in 5th. Don't be surprised to see Jonesy make his way up further as well. And James Foster, he's made a couple of spots early in this one as well. Jonesy, in a NASCAR sense, has usually been known to sort of burn up his tyres, but this is a total different type of racing. And Jonesy up into 5th, doing a great job. Still 16 minutes to go, a long way to go. 23 of Christopher Island leading the way in simrigs.com over the number 50 of Fitt, and now we're back on to Jonesy from simrigs.com as well. So we'll go back onto the replay at the moment of another incident here in the car number 19 early on in this one, just 16 minutes in. We'll go into turn number 1 in this really tricky change of direction, hard on the brakes into the left-hander, and then he's going to go hard right, and he gets too much rear brake straight into the tyre wall, and that is race 1 done for him. So that's how easy it is to happen here around Oschersleben. But I tell you what, Christopher Island's not having those issues at the moment at the front in the 23. He's got 0.96 of a second over his teammate of Joshua Fitt, and they've now got a further 2 seconds to Andrew Dyson and James Glasspool, who are fighting for the minors here as they go through that tricky section into 1 and 2, as I just explained. They'll come out of this. I want to keep the car as straight as possible. Get the car on the gas as soon as they can. Straight braking here into the left-hander, but very easy to get on the gas. So easy out of here. Keep it nice and smooth. Then they'll come up into another left-hand, right-hand combination. They'll go left. Then they'll go right again. Or sorry, double left rather, into a fast left. Then they'll go right again into a big change of direction, and you've got to be really, really, really smooth on that throttle. We're getting a bit of dropouts now on the broadcast in relation to the internet connectivity, but Christopher Island did a great job there. Lots of change of direction. So anyone that has driven a real world race car or driven a car in the virtual world, change of direction is very, very important. Don't get too happy on the jandle, as you say, from New Zealand, and that's their terminology. But don't get too happy on it. Use the flow, keep going, and it looks like at the moment Island and Fitt doing the best job at the moment as they go on to the main straight here to take the next lap here. 14 and a half minutes to go here for race number 1. I tell you what, in the Pro-Am, it's going to maybe spice it up a bit in the championship standings, as we saw Jason Martin have a little bit of an issue there on lap number 1, turn number 2. We can see Josh Mickelmore back there in 13th on the tower. He's just passed away, or not passed away, he's just gone there on the tower, and you haven't been able to see him, but he's gone up into 13th position. There we are, we're on board with him at the moment now. So there's Josh Mickelmore. So he's up into the 13th position. He's chasing down Dave Douglas, who's in the 12th position. Dave Douglas in front of him, he didn't have the best qualifying position, but this is a little bit like, this is going to be good for points for Josh Mickelmore. Not good points for Jason Martin here for race number 1 here at Oschersleben in Germany, and still 13 minutes to go. But we'll just go on board now with Josh Mickelmore. I believe we're on board with Josh Mickelmore from the back of him. Let's go on board with Josh Mickelmore, and let's take you for 2 laps around Oschersleben here on board with the Mitch Motorsports car number 31, and see what it's like to drive the GT3 here around Oschersleben. I'm just listening to you. And we've got a replay. We were on board there with Josh Mickelmore, and that shows what it's like here around Oschersleben, the change of directions. But we go on to the replay. We're on board with the 14 and Mark Johansson down into the heavy braking zone. We'll see what happens here. Change of direction. Doing a great job at the moment. Is he going to get into trouble? Just lights it up on the exit there, catches a little bit of exit curb, and that's all she wrote. And the front of that 14 is into the fence. So Mark Johansson, he's escaped hard left, and that's night over for race number 1 here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series from Oschersleben. But I tell you what, it's definitely heating up in this little battle pack at the moment, Kobe. If we can just bring up and see who we're looking at, and it's really heating up. On with James Foster. So James Foster at the moment, he started really well. He's actually dropped himself a little bit back in the pack, and that's allowed Banks and Lawrence to get a part of this. I'm not sure whether my live timing is actually catching up with me. I know Foster up in the 5th, Glasspool in behind him at the moment, and Wilkes. So this is a nice little battle pack on the change of direction here at Oschersleben. He catches a little bit of curb there in the BMW, and that's going to really hurt his exit. And you could just see there that Wilkes had a little bit of a look on the entry. He thought better of it, but at the moment, James Foster still doing a great job up in 5th position. He's all over the back of Ryan Jones, Glasspool in behind him, Wilkes, Bradbury and Banks. This is a nice little angry battle pack as we see some of the lap cars just coming out of pit lane. But in that simrigs.com car at the moment, I think we need to stay on with this battle. Jonesy getting a little bit of wide there through the apex of the corner. That just gave Foster a little bit of an invoice and gave him a little bit of a look and go, okay, I've got something. So Foster's looking really good through the mid of the corner. But at the moment, Jonesy looking good on exit. Glasswood's going to want to try and get something on this as this goes on and this race goes on. He's going to sit in there in a watching brief, and he's going to want these guys. Look how quick Foster is there onto the point of the apex, and the Ferrari there of the simrigs.com car of Jonesy not quite as good. This is allowing Glasspool to stay a part of this, Wilkes to stay a part of this, Bradbury and Banks to stay a part of this as well. As Banks, you can see him having a little bit of a look down the back straight. He's probably not going to have anywhere to go as they go into this corner, but at the moment Foster doing a great job and really putting the pressure on here over Ryan Jones. He has a little bit of a look into that corner, nowhere to go there. He cuts the nose off there from Jonesy, and I tell you what, Glasspool goes, I'm going to take that as well, and Glasspool has a look out of the final corner. He can't get that job done, and we go status quo down the main straight with 8 minutes to go here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here at Oschersleben. So it is status quo here for the miners. Ireland, Fit and Dyson off into the distance. Jonesy getting a little bit wide there over Foster, and he's going to allow him to have another little bit of a look. He's not going to be close enough here into this turn. This BMW is looking really good through the mid-turn and mid-corner, but he can't quite get the exit. So it's all about the exit for Jonesy at the moment. But I tell you what, Foster needs one eye in the mirror at the moment because he's got Glasspool all over the back of him, and he's having a look, and he's going to be there and trying to have a go at any opportunity. Don't write off Wilkes or Badgery or Banks in this one as well. As you can see, that Foster gets a little bit of a bad run off that corner through the change of direction. Really important here for Foster to get a good run off this turn down into the change of direction again. It looks like that Jonesy's got that done as well, doing a great job. But through these tight sections, you have a look for Foster. James Foster, one of the stalwarts of iRacing, doing a great job in 4th position. He'll be happy with that so far. He's definitely just trying to psych him out at the moment and trying to make that move as with 7 minutes left here for race number 1. Still Ireland Fit and Dyson off into the distance. But at the moment, this is what we need to concentrate on. It's Jones, Foster and Glasspool. Your 4, 5 and 6. Is Foster going to have a look into 1 and 2? This tricky change of direction. He brakes hard. He thinks better of it. Is he going to be able to get that BMW pointed and get the run on exit? He does. He tries. He can't get it done. And again, Jonesy keeps him at bay and is there in 4th position. So I tell you what, Foster's really looking, and Glasspool's around, or Wilkes around. Wilkes is around in the background. Who's that taken out as well? So Wilkes, he was looking for something there, and he caught a little bit too much rear brake, and we'll go back to the instant replay. You could see Foster here. So Foster really looking at the exit here on Ryan Jones as they come out of turn number 3. Couldn't quite get that job done. Wilkes thought, oh, I might have a chance. He was a little bit too far back. He was trying to play the fake game, just caught a little bit too much rear brake and just turned his car around. Unfortunately, the car behind him got caught up in that as well. And I think that might have been Banks. And that was unfortunate. But 6 minutes to go. And we'll go back to a replay now. And I've just heard from Kobe in the broadcast booth. Robbie Bradbury here in the Ferrari. Sorry. Yeah, so Robbie Bradbury got into the back of Glasspool there. So, big hit there. So coming out of the corner, we don't usually like to rewind, but you can see that. We'll go back and unpack this. So you can see the incident there on the outside. You can see Bradbury in the Porsche getting a good run off the exit. The car on the outside just not racing room from either, and that is fence and done. It's not race over at the moment, and he's still good to go, but 5 minutes to go as we're back for the instant replay. But we only got 5 minutes to go here, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like I've been talking a lot. At the moment, we're back on board with Christopher Island, Joshua Fitt and Andrew Dyson from simrigs.com, 1, 2, 3. Ben Wilkes in 4th, who we saw had that incident. But let's go to a little bit of a break. We've got 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go here for race number 1 of round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. Let's go to a little bit of an ad break, thank all the sponsors, and we'll be back to bring you all the action here for race number 1 before we get to race number 2.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back, albeit a very, very short stint for a little bit of a breather. I tell you what, I love the sound of my own voice, but Christopher Island from simrigs.com, what a great job he's doing in P number 1 here with only just under 3 minutes here to go at Oschersleben. He's leading the way over Joshua Fitt and Andrew Dyson. It is a simrigs.com 1, 2 and 3 and 4 with Ryan Jones in the 4th position as well. We will bring you a couple of comments from the winner of each class when we have a little bit of a break, and I can't wait because I'm already losing my voice here as we're only 20 minutes into race number 1. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to all the excitement here for race number 3, but at the moment it is Island, Fitt, Dyson and Jones leading the way. This battle at the moment This is the battle for fourth place on the track. It is Ryan Jones and James Foster. This has been the battle of all race. James Foster looking really, really strong under brakes there and making a lot of ground over the Ferrari there. So BMW first Ferrari as they make their way out of the change of direction. I don't think James Foster's happy to sit in behind there in fifth position. We'll see what happens as they make their way down into this change in direction again. Nowhere to go there for James Foster. He's just going to sit in behind there with a watching brief, and he's going to wait for that heavy braking zone, and hopefully he can position that BMW into a good spot. And you look there, he gets a good run out of the final corner, and James Foster, he's going to try and get the job done. He's going to be on the wrong side of on the track as they come down into turn number 1 and 2. Is he going to be able to hold stead on the outside and put that BMW in the right position to make the move done? He's going to force it, and he's going to get it done, and Foster gets it done over Ryan Jones. How's that for a bit of argy-bargy? And the BMW takes the position over Ryan Jones, and that is a battle for position. You can see Jonesy really struggling there under braking, and Jonesy won't be happy, but I tell you what a move there by Foster into turn number 1 and 2. He didn't quite have the run out of the corner. He got the run halfway down the straight. You saw Jonesy get it back on him, but he just held on the outside and knew that he had to change the direction. And tell you what, he was not lifting, and he put the elbows out, and he got the job done to take fourth position in this motor race. Of course, he doesn't really have anything at the moment for the podium positions. Dyson, Fitton Island, your 3, 2 and 1 up in front. But what a move there by Foster here for race number 1 with only 20 seconds to go. So we're about to see how we're going to end up here for race number 1. Not white flag. It's white flag. You can see Barney this time around. Christopher Island 4 seconds up the road, if you don't mind, over Fit. A little bit of a jumping there on the internet. And Dyson in the 3rd position. Foster with that big elbows out move up into 4th, and Jonesy back into 5th. Ryan Jones in the 5th. Wilkes with that, he'll be absolutely ruining that little mistake he had early in this one. And he's still sitting there in 6th, but he would have had a little bit for the guys in front, I'd suggest, and possibly get a podium. He'd be ruining that mistake here. But it's only race number 1. We've still got race number 2 here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. But it looks like it's Ireland at the moment from the Pro Series. He is going to be unheaded as he makes his way down through the midway of the track, through that change of direction. He's going to come down now through a right and left, very fast change of direction again in that Porsche. It looks like the Porsches have a lot of pace tonight. In through the left-hander. He'll come back through another right-hander, a double right-hander, and he will take the win here for round number 11, race number 1 of Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben in Germany. It will be Christopher Island. Done it without a head of steam in the 23s. Happy about that. And Christopher Island takes your win over Joshua Fit, Andrew Dyson. James Foster with that big elbows out move coming home in P4. Jonesy, I tell you what, he got a bit Jonesied himself because he does that himself. He got a bit of payback there in 5th. Ben Wilkes with that incident in 6th. Coming home in 6th, Banksy in 7th. Your championship leader, Stephen Banks, he's got a lot of work to do going into race number 2 with Aaron Schlotter. James Claspool after being up there early on, and James Lawrence in your 10. We'll go through your AM split and see where, and we don't have your AM split, ladies and gentlemen, but we will have a chat to very shortly with the winner of the Pro and the AM split for race number 1. Before we do that, we'll go to all your ads here for the Everything Simulated GT3 series here for round number 11. Brought you on all the broadcast of Performance E streaming. It was James Glasswell winning. So we'll go back to a couple of ads. We'll be back and talk to all the guys.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Welcome back everyone to round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. It is race number 1 under the belts at the moment, and we do have your GT3 Pro and GT3 Am or Pro-Am winners up into the broadcast booth. We won't keep them long because they've got a second race here tonight to go and navigate, and it will be a little bit of a reverse grid. But before we talk about that, we'll go to your Pro winner, Christopher Island, mate. Well done. What a great job in that Porsche at the front. The Porsche around Oschersleben, I tell you what, it's definitely working well.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I mean, 4 seconds ahead of P2. It's a pretty good race, over 20 minutes. So, yeah, definitely got that thing hooked up. Pretty grippy through the corners, even with the hot track temps. So, yeah, it was a good race. Porsche was good.
Well, like we said, moving into race number 2, and like I said, we won't keep you long. Simrigs.com doing a great job at the moment. Unfortunate there for it was a 1-2-3 for Simrigs, and you could have got a 1-2-3-4. Unfortunately, there for Foster to get underneath there to get the 4th position. But we're going to have a little bit of a different race here for race number 2, and a little bit of a reverse grid. So you're going to have a little bit of cars to navigate. How are you going into race number 2 before we come and bring you all the action, mate?
Look, if I can end up at turn 1 with my car facing the right, I think that'll be a pretty good result to be honest. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I think this is a hard track to pass at. If you're going to pass, you've really got to have a big pace advantage over the other cars. So look, I'll just try my best not to get to turn 1 and be a bit discombobulated, and not really be too confused about which way to go, the left or right, because I think it's going to be a bit like that at turn 1, but we'll see what happens. Just got to try and pick your moves and whatnot, and try and have at least some sort of consistent pace, but it's going to be very hard to get into rhythm because you're going to be dodging cars left, right and centre. So we'll see what happens.
Well, wish you all the best, mate. Good job having a win there for race number 1. We'll definitely be looking at you for race number 2. Hopefully you go well. But, mate, thanks for your time. We'll let you get back into the car, get a couple of warm-up laps before we go into race number 2. We'll jump across to James Lawrence, your winner of the Pro-Am. James, good evening to you, mate. Great job in race number 1. Happy with a big bag of points there. But as I just said to Chris, totally different here for race number 2.
Yeah, I can sort of slip my mind that these second races are reverse grid. So, like Chris said, it's going to be really hard to pass unless you've got a really strong pace advantage over the person. Which, it could just be accumulate some points and just see what happens, I think.
That is your outset going into race number 2, just accumulate some points, or do you feel that you have a lot of pace in the car, and if you do get through 1 and 2, 3 and 4 in the first couple of laps and try and position your car in the right spot, do you think you have the pace to make your way forward in the race? Because you definitely did do that in race number 1.
Yeah, I guess see what happens after the first couple of laps where you end up. There could be a little bit of chaos like there was in the first race at turn 1, see what happens. But yeah, want to try and keep out of drama, and like I said, just accumulate some points for the championship if it all goes to plan. hopefully, fingers crossed.
Well, mate, James, thank you for joining us in the booth. It is a very short time in between race number 1 and 2 in a warm-up session where you could be doing a couple of laps, so we do really appreciate your time. James Lawrence, your winner for Pro-Am here for race number 1 at Oschersleben. Mate, we wish you all the best in race number 2. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end of the feature race here. But we'll let you go. We'll let you get
Thanks,
virtually
Aiden.
strapped in and go and have a bit of fun here for race number 2 and hopefully give us a bit of action.
Thank you.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is your first place getters for Pro and Pro-Am here at Oschersleben for round number 11 of the GT3 series, brought to you by Everything Simulated. We'll go to a quick ad and we'll bring you all the action here for the feature race for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome everyone back to round number 11 in the Everything Simulated GT3 series. If you thought that was fun for race number 1, have a look at race number 2, full reverse grid. Jason Martin, your championship leader in the GT3 Pro-Am will lead the way. You can see him there. He got caught up in an incident, but he'll be taking the pole here for race number 1. We've got plenty of time as we go off underneath the pace car. We don't have the graphics, unfortunately, to be able to tell you where the drivers are, but I've got the live timing, so I'll tell you where they are. You can see there on the left-hand side of your screen. For everyone tuning in here on the Performance e-streaming network, whether you're tuning in from Australia or anywhere around the world, wherever you're watching, it will be Jason Martin taking your pole here for race number 2 on the full reverse grid. Jason Martin, he's going to want to have a better race than what he had in race number 1. Excuse me, as I just get a frog in my throat. He's going to want to have a better race than what we saw at turn 1, lap 1 for race number 1. Harry Doddsy out of Melbourne, the AFL supporter, loves the AFL. Doddsy, a great man, up into P number 2. Noddy Tompkins up into P number 3 in the 80 from SRM, with Mark Johansson, your championship contagonist and owner, up into P number 4. He didn't do a great job in race number 1. He'll want to try and consolidate this as well and have a good result. Dwayne Curley, the first of the pros, he is up where he probably needs to be at the moment. He's been quick through practice and qualifying, didn't have the best of first races, and he'll want to try and execute this and have a good run here for race number 2. 30 minutes it is, full reverse grid. As I did said, Brad J. Cooper in the 093 will come out of the 6th position, and Carl Withy, your fellow commentator, good evening to you, Carl. Can't wait to have a chat to you after this race. Hopefully you make yourself available, up in the 7th position. 8th position will be Paul Drady. Brad Fenley in the VB car, look out for him. He's up in the 3rd position in the championship in the pro class. Before we come into this round number 11 in Oschersleben, he wasn't really anywhere in the first race in that notorious VB car. He'll be wanting to get a good bag of points here for race number 2. Josh Micklemore, he made his way up forward in race number 1 from Mitch Motorsports. As I said, 1 and 10, 24-hour back-to-back winners. Don't be surprised if they make their way forward. Mark Smith in 11th, Peter Pavlovich in 12th, Robbie Badgery in 13th, Dave Douglas, the double D, out of Rockhampton in Queensland in the number 10, starting out of 14th. James Loris in 15th, and James Claspool, who was up there as well, will start out of 16th. We'll go down the minor podium, minor place getters at the moment. We're about to go green. It will be Adam Schotter. Stephen Banks, he'll be making his way up as well. We're going into some of the drivers that are at the front of the grid, or at the front when they finish race number 1, as we're about to go green. Banks, Wilkes, Jones, Foster, Dyson, Thitt and Ireland, as it will be Jason Martin bringing us to the green here for race number 2, round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben, and Jason Martin with a great jump down into turn number 1 into this very tricky change of direction. So they spread out in the background. Will they make their way through there nice and cleanly? Jason Martin does at the front, and he has a clean set of heels at the front of this race, albeit 30 minutes to go. They are 2 or 3 wide in the background. They're all trying to find their way and trying to find their position, as you're going to see the faster guys try and make their way through. Doddsy, Harry Dodds there, just in front of Mark Johansson, as we go back to the replay to see a bit of mischief in turn number 1 and 2. And we'll see what it is. A couple of cars there off into the outside. So that's the 114, James Foster, who had that big move in turn number 1 over Orion Jones to get that 4th position into race number 1. He makes a mistake and he goes right back to the field, or right to the back of the field here in this 30-minute race to race number 2. So James Foster, who had a really good start, or really good start to the weekend in race number 1, having a good move coming up into race number 4. And we go back to Glasspool, who had an issue as well. He's coming out of pit lane. So it looks like Glasspool just started out of pit lane. So a lot going on here in this 30-minute race. But the big one that we need to talk about is James Foster. James Foster, who was up into 4th position, finished 4th position in race number 1. Jason Martin, you can see at the moment, really making a little bit of hay as hay shines in front of Harry Dodds. Harry Dodds has pulled back a little bit on him at the moment. So Harry Dodds has closed that gap, albeit still a long way to go. But James Foster is on board at the moment. He was off the track. He finished in P number 4 rather in race number 1 with that big move and that notorious move we saw and got that job done. But unfortunately, just overcooked it in turn number 1. So a lot of work for James to do here for race number 2. But at the moment, Carl Withy, I think we're on board with now. Harry Dodds. We're on board with Harry Dodds. So Harry Dodds sitting... No, that's not Harry Dodds. Harry Dodds is in P2, right in behind Jason Martin. So that would be Mark Johansson sitting there. I think it might be. My live timing might be going crazy. But anyway, at the moment, it is Jason Martin. It might be... Burns up into P number 2 and Harry Dodds into P number 3. It would help Kobe if I look at my actual tower. Minor detail. But Martin with a really, really good start at the moment. He's got a lot of pace. So a lot different to what the first race was for Jason Martin. Jason Martin coming out of Western Australia, I believe he's from Western Australia, on a totally different time slot, doing a great job. Usually notorious to be a NASCAR driver, but they've come back-to-back and won back-to-back iRacing 24 hours from Mitch Motorsports. Absolute legends, the guys, and absolute great steerers, but Burns isn't going to allow him to have it his own way. Burns is pro. You can see the P on the outside in the brackets. That means that he's a pro. Jason Martin is pro-am. Doesn't mean they're any better, but I tell you what, they're there for a reason. And Martin and Burns leads the way. Doddsy just literally going off into the distance with Cooper. And Carl Withy, if you don't mind, the fellow commentator, up into P number 5, doing a great job there in the... I think that's BMW, in the BMW, up into the P5. He's got Robbie Bradbury in behind him as well. But I told you I wasn't going to get that excited, Kobe, and you can jump in and I just got instant replay. I got Kobe in the background. I've got an incident with Dave Douglas, I believe. You can see him in the yellow car there, trying to make the move, and yeah, just big dive bomb on the inside. Collects the inside front quarter panel in the M&M's car, and that's all she wrote in the Mustang there for Dave Douglas. So you can see how hard it is with these guys navigating their way through. 30 minutes to go, and at the moment back on with the Audi. How good does that Audi look as we go back to another instant replay? Dave Douglas, it looked like he was having another issue, but we're back onto the lead of the motor race, and Burnsy here looks like he has a lot for Jason Martin. So Jason Martin doing a great job. This is about fuel strategy too. I'm not sure whether they're going to have to go down pit lane. Martin at the moment, he does hold the lead of this motor race. He's in the best position, but Burnsy in behind him does have a lot more pace. You can see he can just hold that mid-corner speed. He just blinks out a little bit, and that's really hard from a broadcaster's perspective. But this Porsche looks like it has a lot more on the change of direction. See, he can just hold it. He pushes a little bit wide there on exit, catches the gear early to stop that wheel spin into 5th, into 6th. He might not do that, and he'll go back into 3rd through the change of direction. You can see how the Ferrari just put, is it Ferrari, McLaren? I can't really. You can see how it pushes just a little bit wide. So into 3rd gear as well. So we'll just keep on board in this, and we'll watch this for a lap if we can go on board with Burnsy and see how he navigates his way around a lap at Oschersleben as he fights for the lead of this motor race. At the moment, I think it's Lamborghini actually at the front. I wish we had the Aston Martin. Audi, yeah, that's it. So we got the Audi versus the Porsche. So you can see how the Porsche is a lot stronger on the entry. He overdrove it there on entry, and that allowed Jason Martin to get a really, really good exit. But as we go through this lap, it'll be interesting to see how Burns goes. He's sort of using that midline, not trying to get the apex, probably overdriving a little bit. If he can just break it up earlier, and the Porsche is a lot different to the Audi. So the Porsche is very heavy over the rear with, it's really heavy over the rear with the engine being over those rear tyres. So very light on the front. So you need to get it turned early, and you need to be able to get on that power as soon as you can. Change of direction here again. Coming out of the corner. The Audi getting a really good drive, but so does the Porsche. You can see Harry Dodds just up in there into the background. He's got a lot of gap on Cooper there as well. So a long way to go. But this Porsche showing a lot of pace. But I tell you what, Jason Martin, being in Pro-Am, still doing a great job. We're only 28 minutes to go. It might be early on, but doing a great job. And this just goes to show track position as the Mitch Motorsports number 21 comes out of the final turn here at Oschersleben and still leads the way over Burns down the main straight. We'll see whether Burns has learnt anything here in the last couple of laps as they go through the change of direction. We'll go through a replay now for Robbie Bradbury. Down in the Ferrari, gets collected into the background. Oh, he gets right into the back of that BMW. He didn't want to, locks up those rears, and Robbie Bradbury goes around here in race number 2. So he's got a long way to come back. See whether he gets it back on the track. We don't do that, but we go back to the lead. Oh, no, we don't. We go back to the sim rigs, guys. So at the moment, we'll just bring up who we are on board with, if we don't mind. We'll go back to a replay of Paul Drady, if we don't mind. Paul Drady there, coming into pit lane. Copy. So we'll go back onto that simrigs.com challenge, if we don't mind, and just bring up who we're watching. Kobe, if you can go back to the simrigs.com challenge, please. Christopher Island, please. So Christopher Island making his way through the field. So Christopher Island, after starting at the back, you can see there in behind him as well. That's Ryan Jones making his way, or is it Shotter making his way up as well. So after starting at the back of this motor race, they are now up inside the top 5 and only 7 seconds off the lead of the motor race. But this reverse grid, 26 minutes left to go. Simrigs.com at the moment. Christopher Island, we spoke to him briefly after the end of race number 1. He's actually, he has not minced his words, and he wanted to get through the first couple of laps. Once he's done this here for race number 2, the Simrigs.com guys are making their way forward. As you see the car just move aside in front of them and just get out of the way, and there's another spot for Island up into 5th. It is Fit leading Ireland. You can see Brad Fenley, who was 3rd in this championship coming into round number 11. We haven't really spoken about him much tonight apart from the roll-up laps, but he's still there. He's back in the pack at the moment, so he's just wanting to grab some points. So Dyson making his way through as well, but at the moment Burns has got the job done over Martin and got the lead over the motor race, and he's now 1.5 seconds over Jason Martin. So Burns at the moment looks like it's his to lose. Still a long way to go. 25 minutes in. I'm going to settle down. I tell you what, the Porsche, anyone tuning in here on the Performance e-streaming network, the Porsche feels like it is the car at the moment. Oh, nearly goes wide there and collects a bit of grass through turns number 1, 2 and 3, but gets the job done over the Audi of Jason Martin. Doddsy still doing good, although he is hemorrhaging time. He's now going through pit lane. You can see him going down your order. So it looks like we do have a pit stop and Doddsy going down through pit lane. Oh, Doddsy's had an issue. So he's actually going back. So you can see there with James Foster getting the job done. But we'll go back to the replay. Doddsy, who was in 3rd position before this happened. So we'll see what happens down into the 1, 2, 3 change of direction. So Doddsy in the Mustang locks a little bit of the rears, gets them sideways, locks the rears, and around he goes. So easy to do here around Oschersleben. So with the weight direction and the weight change as you go through that left-hander to the right, very easy to do, and Doddsy got caught out very much so there, and you can see the Simrig guys in the background, Christopher Island and the like, just trying to get in front of that, and then they did that. But they're going to like that. Doddsy's not going to like that as well. He's going to go back really deep in this motor race. But back on at the moment, we'll bring up who we're on if we can, please, Kobe, just so we can see. That might be Carl Withy in the 65, I believe, and it is. I know Carl Withy's paint, but Carl Withy at the moment. So we've got a replay with Mark Smith and James Glasspool. It'd be good if we don't just keep propping to the replays unless we see them, because Whoa, big incident there. So race number 2, Glasspool in a big incident, but we'll... sorry, Kobe, if we could just... I know what you're trying to do, but if we could just concentrate on the racing at the moment, that would be great. And at the moment, Carl Withy doing a great job there in the 10th position. Foster's up into 9th as well, but that's 1 and 2 on the motor race at the moment. Carl Withy, we're back on now. James Foster has got the job done on him. Dodsey, who had that issue just before, in the 11th position, and he's going to make his way forward as well. But Carl Withy having a really, really good night at the office tonight. He was up inside the top 6 in the Pro-Am standings coming into here to round number 11. And I tell you what, he'll be happy with this one. He'll be happy, because you have a look at the moment in front of him. There's only Martin, there's only Cooper, and there's only Lawrence in front of him in regards to the Pro-Am split for points. So a big chunk of points here with 21 minutes, nearly 22 minutes to go. But it is Burns, Martin, Ireland, Fitt and Shotty, your top 5. But we've got 21 minutes to go here for your final race here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. I've done enough talking as Carl Withy looks to get taken over by Harry Dodds, and he's going to get that job done. And it looks like at the same time, in behind, the Porsche is going to want to have a little bit of a look at that around the outside, and he's going to get that job done. So he gets that job done as well. There's a Ford in the background, but before we do that, let's go have a look at some of our sponsors. We've got 20 minutes to go. Give me 5 minutes to get my voice back, and we'll come back and bring you all the action here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben here on the Performance E streaming network.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallinVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service interests and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. It is Burns at the front at the moment, leading the way. He's got a clean set of heels, 3.5 seconds over Jason Martin, and you can see him on board now in the Porsche. The Porsche is definitely very, very quick here around Oschersleben, and he has done a great job in the first race here for Burnsy. We'll go through and have a look at how his went. He did a pretty good job, though, in race number 1, I would have thought. Kobe, I'm not sure. You can talk to me in the background. But Burns in the 19, doing a great job. 4.3 seconds the better over Jason Martin, the first of your Pro-Ams, up in the second position in the race at the moment. So race on track. It is Pro versus Pro-Am. Christopher Island, if you don't mind, your winner from Pro. There is Jason Martin, and doing a great job there in the 21 Mitch Motorsports car. Your back-to-back 24-hour winning champion. No surprise to see him up in there in P2 doing a great job, and he has 4 seconds ahead of Christopher Island, who started off the back of this grid after winning race number 1 in the Pro. You can see the simrigs.com guys in the background, Fit and Island. Ryan Jones as well in behind them, albeit 8 seconds behind. Just keep an eye on these Simrigs guys, and we'll see whether they can have anything to fight on Martin as we've got 14 minutes to go. So you can see there as well, Foster in behind Shotter. So Foster, who had a little bit of an incident in lap number 1, turn number 1, found himself on the grass. He's back up into 7th position. How's the pace here from the green BMW from Foster as he makes the job done there on Shotter down through 1 and 2, and the BMW now gets up into the 6th position. But I tell you what, mate, this is absolutely all happening. Foster still in behind now. That looks like Shotter's got the job done again as well. So Shotter's not letting Foster have it his own way, and that being Foster, as Foster has another look down into turn number 4 in the change of direction. He's going to get that job done, the BMW looks very, very strong on the entry to the corner, but that McLaren, and I'm sure it's a McLaren, it's just hard because my live timing is completely stopping, is looking really good on the entry, but it looks like, on the exit rather, it looks like that Foster's got that job done now. So he's going to have his sights set on Ryan Jones. So simrigs.com, it is 3, 4, 5, and then we've got Foster. And I tell you what, Foster's one that doesn't really race a lot in sim racing. He's a brother of Edward Foster, the GOAT of NASCAR racing. Edward Foster, who has run in this series as well and doing a great job and has done a great job when he's run. But I tell you what, James Foster, anyone tuning in here across the platforms of the streaming network, whether it is Australia or all across the world, New Zealand, wherever you are, this car has been fast all night, and he's shown that. He's now up into the 6th position. Albeit he made that big lunge and got his elbows out. Follow me, Kobe. So Harry Dodds has had an issue. Dytho's just got into the outside of Harry Dodds there. Oh yeah, Dytho not giving much room, and that's the end of that. But we'll go back on to the lead of the motor race. Let's not focus on that at the moment. 12 minutes to go. And keep on what we're talking about and the focus of the thing. So there's your leader, Burnsy. He does have a massive margin. We'll go back and we'll show you what that margin looks like. We'll go back to Jason Martin. There you go. That's how big the Martin is. And we'll now, the margin is. We'll now go back to Ireland as well and show that margin. So that margin for Ireland and Fit is getting very, very close between Jason Martin, Christopher Ireland, and Fit at the moment. So that has really, really got closer. We'll have a look and see how far Jones is behind. Ryan Jones, he's a long way behind at the moment, so he's not playing a part in this one at the moment. So it's between Burns, Martin, Ireland, and Fit. 11 minutes to go. Can Martin hold on? We're about to find out. I think Burnsy's got this one sewn up at the front at the moment, but it's the battle between Martin, Ireland, and Fit for the minor placings, as we still have pit strategy to go through. But there's your leader, Burns, through the final turn, out of the final turn here at Oschersleben, and he is leading the way by a mile. So Burns, this is his to lose. 6.6 seconds. Ireland at Fit is the 2, 3, and 4 that we need to take a look at as we get into the back end of the race. We will bring you some more ads before we get into the back end of the race. But before we do that, there was a little bit of an incident there with Mark Johansson, and we'll go back to that instant replay and have a look. So Mark Johansson there on his Marlboro Red 16s. He's going down the front straight at the moment into this very tricky change of direction, as we've said all night tonight. We'll see what happens as he goes into that left-hander. Got to be very heavy on the brakes. Just caught that rear brake and caught him out, and unlucky he's spun out. But fortunate for him, he didn't end up in a tyre wall, so you can just do a flick spin and keep going. But back on now, Jason Martin, your second position, 6.6 seconds, and Ireland and Fit definitely making up a lot of time here in the battle. We're about to go into pit lane strategies, I think. So let's not go to some ads at the moment. There's 9 minutes, and I'm getting really excited. I just want to have a look at this. Martin and Ireland. So 1.9 seconds Ireland to Martin. Fit 1.1 in behind. These simrigs.com Porsches have been quick all night, and you can see how quick they are ranging up onto the back of Jason Martin here in second position. If they don't need to pit, they will pass him and they will leave him. Is Jason Martin just saving a little bit to come through pit lane? I wouldn't suggest he was. There's your leader you can see on your screen now in Burns, completely down the road. But they're not going to save anything, because if they come through pit lane now with only 8 minutes 55 to go, they're not going to take tyres. Tyres are going to take too long than fuel. So at the moment, this is just pure pace. This is for round 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. Martin 2, Ireland 3, Fit 4. The simrigs.com guys are definitely making a lot of ground here over the Mitch Motorsports car, as we've only got 8 minutes to go. Do they need to go through pit lane? We're about to find out. We've found a couple of people needed to. Those Porsches looking really strong in behind. I tell you what, don't take your eyes off the screen, everyone tuning in here on Everything Simulated, everyone tuning in here on all the platforms that we are tuning in. There is a lot to go. It might only be 8 minutes to go, but it's Mitch Motorsports over simrigs.com. Is it going to be 1, 3, and 4? We're about to find out. Is Mitch Motorsports going to hold on? Porsche taking down Mitch Motorsports. We're about to find out. 7 minutes 48 to go into turn number 1 and 2 into this tricky braking section. So Jason Martin doing a great job at the moment. He's probably used a little bit less fuel at the front than what these guys have at the moment. Just trying to navigate his around. Don't worry about Burnsy. He's off into the distance. He's not someone to talk about until the end of this race. But this is the battle for the minors, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Jason Martin, Christopher Island coming off the last position here on the reverse grid, and Fit coming off 2nd in the first one. Are they going to have anything for Jason Martin? But we all know with motorsport, it's easy enough for them to get to him, but it's a different thing to be able to make the pass. So you can see at the moment, Island ranging right up onto the back of Jason Martin. He's going to have his eyes in the mirror. He's going to be looking everywhere at the moment. He's going to be going, oh, where do I try and block him? And at the moment, Island's just going to go, I've got the pace, where do I pass him? But Island might have the pace at the moment, but he might be able to get up to the back of him, but it's all good to be able to get up in the back of him, but you need to make the pass cleanly as that Porsche comes through the double right-hander on to the main straight, makes a big gain there through the apex of the corner as we go down turn number 1. Island, a big run out of the final turn. He's got that job done. It looks like Martin's just backed off there and let them go. So the two Porsches from simrigs.com have got that done. So Jason Martin erring on the side of the caution and just letting them go and going, okay, I'm happy just winning Pro-Am at the moment and didn't want to fight that one. So Island and Fit would be happy with that as it's Burns, Island and Fit 1, 2, 3 with 6 minutes to go as we're on board with Jason Martin. We'll go to a quick ad. We were getting excited there for what would be a good battle. Martin led them through. It is simrigs.com up there in 2nd and 3rd, 1, 2, 3. We'll go to a quick ad and we'll bring you what will be the winner here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here on the broadcast of Performance Inc. Streaming Network.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like Simrigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
You went, you served, and forged the relationships that only being baptized in the fire of combat can develop. At FallInVeteran.com, we understand the unique bond that veterans share. That's why we've created a platform where you can connect, share experiences, and build lifelong friendships with fellow veterans. Signing up is easy. Simply visit www.fall-in-veteran.com and create your profile. Customize it to reflect your military service interests and hobbies. FallInVeteran.com is more than just an online community. It's a support network where you can find resources, advice, and encouragement from those who understand what you've been through. Whether you're looking for camaraderie, mentorship, or simply a place to share your stories, FallInVeteran.com has it all. Join thousands of veterans who have already found their tribe and start connecting today. FallInVeteran.com. Come join us and experience the power of community. Sign up now at www.fall-in-veteran.com.
And welcome back, everyone, here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben, Jason Martin we're on board with at the moment. In the 4th position, your leader of the Pro-Am. Done a great job. He did start off the pole position here for race number 2. We have seen Burns, Island and Fit. Island and Fit, starting off the back in this reverse grid in the Pro. They have made their way right up into the front. You see them on screen at the moment. Burns 6.6 seconds down the road at the moment. But the simrigs.com Porsches, how good do they look as they make their way down through the change of direction here at Oschersleben? Island over Fit. Jason Martin, as I just said, in the 4th position. Ryan Jones, he is 4th position in the Pro at the moment. Big bag of points for Jones, and one that I'm really, really happy about. And we don't need to change the cameras at the moment. I'm just going to talk and brain fart. James Foster, after being off the side of the track at turn number 1, after coming 4th with that big hip and shoulder on Ryan Jones, doing a great job to get that 4th position in race 1, has still made his way up into P number 6. Lawrence up into P number 7. So a little bit different to who we spoke about in race number 1 in the Pro-Am. So a little bit of a shake-up there, as you can see now. Foster all over the back of Jonesy. So this is a little bit of status quo here as we see what we saw in race number 1. A minute 41 to go. We might see a bit of elbows out here. The same little bit of competition. It is Foster and Jonesy. Foster wanting to make a move to get the minor places here in the Pro over Ryan Jones. Is he going to make the same move? I tell you what, Jonesy's smart of that. He's going to know what happened from race number 1, and he's going to want to be able to block off on that, and he's going to be very weary to that. But that BMW, very good on the change of direction and the point. I tell you what, Jonesy good off the corner, but coming into the corner, James Foster a lot better. You can see it right there on the change of direction. Really good in the BMW. So he's very hungry now as he goes down into this next change of direction. Only 51 seconds to go. So there will be white flag, I'd suggest. Barney will wave his white flag next time around. James Foster, is he going to have a go and try and do the same thing as we're back on with the leader? Burns, as he makes his way out of the corner, he hasn't taken the white flag yet, so still another lap to go. But Burns 6.4 seconds in front of Island and Fit. It doesn't look like Island and Fit will really fight at the moment for 2nd and 3rd. They've got that one done. You can see Martin there first in the Pro-Am, just in behind them as well. So this looks like your champion or your place getters at the moment. Jonesy and Foster is what I really want to look at here, Kobe, if I can. We will go back when we do go white flag racing. Jason Martin there, your leader of Pro-Am, doing a great job. Here's your leader. Here's your 3rd and 4th position in the Pro. So we will go white flag this time around. Will it be Jones? Will it be Foster for the top 3 or the final place on your podium? At the moment, looks like Foster's got a lot more as they make their way through the back end of the section, down the back straight. Is Foster going to have a look? Gets a good run there out of the corner. Not quite close enough as they make their way down into this change of direction in the right, left-hander, and then right-hander again. But that BMW looking really, really good on the change of direction. He's going to want to send it really good, but we go back to the leader now, and Burns, he's going to take the win, and he has taken the win already, gone over the line. So let's go back to that battle. Let's go back to that battle quickly, Kobe, because he's gone back. We're already past the start-finish line. Go back to... So it looks like... Sorry, we completely nuffed that up. So that was terrible from our behalf. But Jonesy got that job done over Foster. So it was Burns taking a 6.6 second lead over Christopher Island and Fit. Only 0.7 of a second over Fit in the 50 in the Pro. I tell you what, Jason Martin coming home 4th. But let's go through your place getters here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. It was in the Pro Series. Dwayna Burns, or Dwayna Burns, I'm sorry Burnsy if I don't pronounce that correctly, we'll talk to you in the broadcast booth shortly, coming home with P number 1. Unfortunate race number 1, had a good position in race number 2 and you definitely deserve that to get the win. Christopher Island coming off the back in race number 2, coming home in P number 2 with Joshua Fitt coming home in P3. Jason Martin, your Pro-Am driver, after starting the pole here for race number 2, holding on well and taking the class win in the 21. Your double 24-hour winner in the 21, Jason Martin from Mitch Motorsports. Ryan Jones from simrigs.com in the 11 car coming home in P5. I tell you what, James Foster did not make that easy for him at all. Only just 0.6 of a second behind him in the 6th position. James Foster, a second race that he probably ruined him, because if he didn't make that mistake in lap number 1, turn number 1, God knows where he would have been. But good bag of points there for the 114 James Foster. James Lawrence in 7th, Aaron Scholter in 8th, and Ben Wilkes 9th, Andrew Dyson coming home in P10. Andrew Dyson coming in P10 tonight, which is a little bit interesting because Dyso usually right up the front, and wasn't really up there in the series, hasn't run all the rounds, but Andrew Dyson, one of the stalwarts of the iRacing community and really, really quick in everything he drives. Not the best night from him. Probably wouldn't be happy to say that it was the best night from him, but still a good bag of points coming into the next round, and I guarantee you, knowing Dyso for a long time in racing, that he won't be happy with that one, but he'll come back bigger and stronger next week, and don't be surprised to see him at the front. Brad Cooper in 11th, Peter Pavlovich in 12th, Bradbury, Banks, Withy, Fenley, Mickelmore, Johansson, Dodds, Mark Smith, your 20. And if we round out your field tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben in Germany, it was James Glasspool who was doing so good earlier in the night, Paul Drady, Dave Douglas with that incident, and Noddy Tompkins 26 laps down in 24th. But we'll go across and we will have a little bit of a chat to your winners. We'll just go on back and we'll just have a look at our ads and everything sponsored, and have a look at our ads and support the people that support us here for the Everything Simulated GT3 series. We'll go get our voice. We'll go get all the boys in the background. We'll go get ready and have a chat to them before we have a chat to your winners here for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series. But for myself and Kobe, we'll just go and have a little bit of a relax, and we'll talk to the guys. We'll be back to you shortly.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Round number 11 here for the Everything Simulated GT3 series from Oschersleben. What a night it's been. It's been a night of ups and downs for a lot of people. I tell you what Jason Martin did in race number 1 as we saw him win in the Pro-Am and race number 2. But we just had the feature race and it's all done and dusted. We do have the Pro-Am guys, number 1, 2 and 3 up in the broadcasting booth, and we'll start in P number 3 at the moment. Brad Cooper, mate. P number 3, you got to be happy with that. Definitely tricky track to be able to pass after that reverse grid in race number 1. A lot of incidents. You got to be happy with a big bag of points out of here in round number 11.
Yeah, I am. It was a very bad hard race. I was fuel saving from lap 3, and because I think I had to, if I didn't fuel save, I would have to pit for 8 or 9 litres. So that's why I was dropping down the order. But overall, good finish for the team, and yeah.
Well, mate, in the Mustang's been really new here on the iRacing platform, and you probably, in the 093, held strong there with the Mustang. How have you found it's driven in the GT3 sort of series? I liked it when it first came out, and I like the Ferrari myself, but how are you liking the Mustang in the GT3 here?
Good. At first it was a struggle because I couldn't get the setups right, but because I'm part of Apex Racing Academy, I've got their setups and it's helped majorly to get around these tracks.
Well, mate, reverse grid though, we didn't really see you up there in the first one, like not really up there, but Reverse grid, do you think that is a good concept? I know we're round 11, probably a bit of a stupid question to be honest to ask because we're already there at round 11, but reverse grid, a little bit different. It's my first time broadcasting or commentating this series, so reverse grid creates a lot of different challenges, etc., and you obviously navigated that way very, very well, especially having Pro and Pro-Am, etc., and coming home with a P3 tonight and a lot of bag of points. Is that something you like and want to see that, or would you like to just keep continuing and where you finish in the race?
I like the these type of races, how it's got the reverse grid at the second race, but it's actually the first time I've started up near the front in the feature race because I'm usually in the back end because I got taken out in that turn 1 incident in race 1 with Jason. So, but now I like this, then plus the endurance races at Spa, I think next week or the next fortnight. That's going to be a good one.
It's funny you say that, mate, because I will touch that on when I talk to Jason Martin later with his first race as well, and you were caught up in that as well. I will touch on that. So it's funny you say that, and it is so imperative, and to be able to set sail as the sail like goes, and you know what I mean, it's very imperative to start up the front. But mate, I won't keep you long. We will keep these interviews very, very short, just to try and let you go off and spend time with your families. And it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to call the race tonight, mate. But big shout out to everyone tonight, Brad, on everyone involved. And I know it's just sim racing, mate, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time in behind there, and to be able to do what you do, and you did a good job being able to capitalise there, albeit not a great race 1, but you did a good job in race 2.
Yeah, cheers, buddy.
Big shout out, mate, to anyone?
Yeah, my team, Antic Motorsports, and our sponsors, simrigs.com, Sim Magic, France Mayflaws, Apex Racing Academy, and Shock Graphics.
No worries, mate. You're around number 11 P3 getter. It was Mr. Cooper, Brad Cooper, in P and number 3. But James, mate, P number 2 in Pro-Am. Mate, you got to be happy with that?
I will definitely take that. Like I said after the first race, sort of see how it panned out after the first corner, and there was I think maybe not the first corner, but of the second race. But I know there was a few incidences later on in the race that sort of allowed me to claw some spots. So yeah, just try to keep out of trouble, like I said, and I managed to do that and finish second. I'll definitely take that.
Well, real quickly, I know we want to finish this up quickly, but race number 1, how'd that go for you?
That was good. Just, yeah, try to keep it as clean as possible. Got sort of tangled up in that first corner incident. But yeah, that was about, I think, the only real drama. I had 2 slowdowns towards the end, which sort of brought Dave Douglas back very, very close to me at the end there. But yeah, other than that, it was just, yeah, plain sailing, really.
Well, hopefully I get this. Like I said, this is the first time I got to call this series this year, and I had an absolutely fat time, to be honest. It was some great racing. Hopefully it's not the last time I get to talk to you. But mate, I don't mean to cut it short because we've got a lot of people to talk to, but big shout out to everyone that makes it possible for you to be able to go racing. I'm sure it's not going to be the last time I talk to you, so that's why I'll cut it short. But mate, P2 James Lawrence here for Pro-Am tonight. Big shout out.
Thanks, Aiden. Thanks for stepping in for Steve at short notice.
No worries, mate. We really do appreciate that, and a man of minor words, but we'll go across to a man of less minor words, Jason Martin. Good evening to you, Jace, mate. How are you going, legend, mate? Starting off the pole there in the reverse grid after race number 1, not the way you wanted to start race number 1, ending up in the oblivion, and albeit you would have liked starting off pole in race number 2, but not the way you would have wanted to do it. Mate, big congratulations on getting a P1.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, definitely made it much easier that second race starting from the front, but yeah, that first race was pretty bad and didn't even get to turn a lap, so bad point night there.
Well, you got a good bag of points there for race number 2, so don't be too hard on yourself, mate. Coming into the series, or coming into this round, I think you were around about 5th or 4th, or you were right up there actually in the championship. So a good bag of points. So don't be too hard on yourself. I could see you there when the Simrigs guys were behind you in the Porsches. I was saying on the broadcast, and if you go back and watch it, I thought you might have fought it a little bit harder, and you just pulled over to the side and you were just racing your own race and racing the guys that were around you, and thought, well, I'm just going to get the class win, and that's exactly what you were thinking, I'd suggest.
Yeah, it wasn't worth risking racing them because they're a separate class, so it's different points and separate points, so I just had to worry about beating the guys in my class. So if I tried to race them, I'd probably screw up and wreck or something, so it just wasn't worth it, so let them go.
So just to elaborate, and we need to give you a little bit of a time before we go on to the pro guys. I know we want to wrap this up really quickly. Jaso, mate, I've raced you a lot in ovals and stuff, and for years and years and years, and you're an absolute gentleman. Mate, back-to-back 24s. Let the guys know on the broadcast how hard that is and what it means to you to be able to do that, let alone come here on a GT3 league. Yes, it's a league race, but to be able to run in a 24-hour against everyone around the world, and the Mitch guys, Danny G, Josh Micklemore, all the boys around it, to be able to pull back-to-back 24 hours, how much does that mean to you?
Oh, absolutely amazing. So proud of the guys for that, and yeah, you know, we're pretty much oval racers, so we don't spend as much time on road, but that's probably my biggest achievement ever in sim racing, so absolutely stoked with that and couldn't believe it, and I was just about ready to retire after that.
Well, don't retire too soon, Jaso, because I want another couple of trundles before you retire. But, mate, amazing job, mate. Big bag of points here in round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here. And it definitely doesn't go undeserved. You did deserve it, and a great job, mate. So before we let you go, big shout out to everyone. We know who they're going to be, but, mate, I reckon you need to get off the ovals and do a bit of road stuff.
Oh, mate, I enjoy this road more than ovals at the moment. But yeah, got to give a big shout out to the Mitch Motorsports guys, our sponsor, Leppy Motorsports Concepts, and thanks to you for stepping in and doing the broadcast, because I know quite a few blokes like to watch it, so thanks for doing that.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Well, I'll let you go. We'll jump off into the pro guys, but thanks for allowing me, and thanks for the kind words, mate. So look forward to seeing you on track, and great race tonight and a big chunk of points, mate. So Jace, a big congratulations from us here in the broadcast booth. But there you go. There's your first place getter here for the Pro-Am. From Mitch Motorsports, it was Jason Martin. We'll go up into the pro class drivers now, and we'll have a chat to them before we wind down the broadcast. Thank you, Jason. So we're up here with Dwayne Burns. Good evening to you, Dwayne.
Yeah, hi guys.
How are you, mate? Sorry, my live timing is going completely crazy. But Dwayne, mate, I tell you what, a class above in that second race, absolutely on fire.
Yeah, thanks. I think first race I had a ton of bad luck, so that all seemed to come back to me in that second race. So just managed to get to the front. Jason let me by, and then it was just a matter of keeping my head down, just in case some of the quick guys like Chris behind might have caught me up.
Well, we saw that in race number 1 where you got caught up in a little bit of an incident, and it obviously helped you in the second race where you were in the starting position. You were the best of the pro drivers, and you navigated your way around really quickly to the front. But you did it really professionally. You didn't go too quick. You just navigated your way around and got to the front. And once you did, you showed a clean set of heels at the front.
Yeah, I was a bit tentative, I guess, at the start of both races. So, yeah, I just was trying to make sure to get through there cleanly in race 2 and managed to settle in behind Jason. And it's a very tough track to pass on. So I'm not sure if I even would have got by him without him making a mistake or letting me by in the end. So, yeah.
Well, you
That's pretty
definitely
short.
did. You definitely would have, because you had a lot of pace there behind Jace, and he didn't really let you past. You were literally a class above in the second race, and it did come from your starting position. We did have the other drivers in behind as well, from the winners from the first race, which was starting at the back, and they made their way through and still finished on the podium. But mate, it's a lot easier and said and done. You still need to get the job done, and it was 30 minutes of complete concentration, and you did a great job, mate, and you deserve the win.
Yeah, thanks. I was pretty happy that, I was able to maintain that gap to Chris. That sort of showed that my pace was pretty good, and yeah, it was just a matter of keeping at it for the whole race.
Well, big shout out, mate, to everyone that's involved. Hopefully it's not my last time that I get to talk to you in the broadcast booth, because I have a feeling you're going to hear me a lot, whether that's on a bad way or not, but I have a feeling you're going to talk to me a lot. So, mate, big congratulations on your win here for the feature race, and a big shout out to everyone that's involved in it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, I guess thanks to Ben, I'm decided to join him for the rest of this series. It's always good to race with your teammates. We're a pretty small group with Mobile Racing, but it's always great to be part of a good team.
No worries, mate. Well, Dwayne, big congratulations from everyone here in the broadcast booth and everyone here for the Everything Simulated GT3 series, mate. Big congratulations. Well deserved for the feature race. Race 1 didn't really go to plan, but big chunk of points coming into round number 12, so big congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Kobe. Well, there's your winner there for the GT Pro class. I'm not sure whether we have anyone else coming in. I'm not sure we do, but a big special thanks to the league owner Mark Johansson and the web designer Mark Johansson. His name's across everything. If you do want to go and have a look at the Aussie Outlaws GT3 racing series, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor as well, we can tailor a package suited to you. Contact us at the _ below. So Aussie Outlaws Racing AU at gmail.com, and then obviously search for Aussie Outlaws GT3 Racing. The league ID, if you do want to get a part of it, is 8718. But I tell you what, it was amazing racing here tonight for round number 11 of the Everything Simulated GT3 series here from Oschersleben. It was a mixture of GT3 Pro, GT3 Pro-Am here in race number 2. Race number 1, I tell you what, that was good. Next race, Red Bull Ring from Spielberg. I tell you what, how good's that going to be? Red Bull Ring, one of the best tracks from Europe. We are excited for that one. Hopefully I'm in the booth. We're about to find out in the next couple of days. But tonight, Oschersleben is all done, and it is your winner, Dwayne Burns, here for the feature race here for our number 11 at Oschersleben. But from myself, Kobe, everyone here from Aussie Outlaws, everything simulated, everyone on Performance E streaming, everyone tuning in from here and around the world, around the globe, thank you for tuning in. I had a blast. Kobe had a blast. Let's get into the next round and see if we have the same thing that we have tonight. Like I said, if you do want to get involved, go through all those streams. They'll be in the comments if you want to get a part of it. But from myself, Kobe, and everyone here on the broadcast, that is round number 11 done. I'm excited. I needed a bit of sleep. We'll go into round number 12 next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.